Good day. Today let us see about security standards that could be applied in cloud environment. So these are the four main security standards which should be applied in cloud environment. Security Assertion Markup Language, SAML. You have Open Authentication Standard. You have Open ID Standard, and you have your Secure Socket Layer and Transport Layer Security Standard. So when it comes to Security Assertion Markup Language, it is more like a XML code or HTTP code where it contains a lot of tags, and it supports HTTP protocol. It supports XML based servicing, and it also is based upon SOAP protocol, which stands for simple object access protocol. The main purpose of your security assertion markup languages, it ensures authentication, authorization, and it describes all security attributes which has to be satisfied. Coming to the SAML code, as I said, it's going to be like XML and HTTP tags. So you can see over here, it's almost like tags: authorization tag, authentication tag, attribute tag. So what is the purpose of this code is that assertion A, it's like rule A, issued at time T by so-and-so issuer regarding particular subject, has to satisfy a number of conditions. C conditions. So what and all rules has to be met, all that you will put in the SAML code and it will be taken care of. Then we have open authentication. The main purpose of open authentication is to protect the data and to grant access for a particular service or a data. There's an involvement of third party. Now, in this example, third party is tied up with the cloud providers. In other words, the cloud providers are requesting the services from third party authentication organization who green signals the cloud providers to grant access to the users after genuinely verifying if they are the registered users. So first step is there'll be a tie-up between the cloud providers and the third-party authentication organization, where they request the authorization code, and once the authorization code is being received, then the user will be asking for some kind of services, right? Okay. So what will happen is the cloud provider will ask for their credentials. Now this credentials is carried by the cloud provider and it's given to the third party authentication company. Now they verify if the users are genuine or not. Based upon that, they generate one authorization code, then they generate one token, and then what will happen is they will provide one certificate kind of thing saying that this user is genuine or not genuine. If it's genuine, that you can grant your information, or you can grant your services, or you can allow them to use your services. Some kind of certificate will be given. Once that has been given, the cloud providers will be sharing the information with the users, or they will allow the users to access their resource. It could be the other way around also, where the users will be hiring the third party organization to make sure that whatever resource they're using from the cloud providers are secure enough or not. So this, the other way around also is possible. So there's an example: user wants to access Google Drive. So they enter their Gmail account and password, and this Gmail account password is taken by Google cloud provider, and it's been given to third party authentication organization, where they verify the credentials of the user. They go through the history of the user and permission. Then they will communicate back to the Google saying that yes, you can permit him, and then they can access a particular drive uh, containing data. Then we have another kind of security standard called OpenID. So instead of having multiple accounts, like multiple tokens, authorization code, you can have one single sign-on account. And single sign-on account is more than enough to access any kind of cloud supported platform. Say, for example, nowadays many social media platforms are supported by cloud. Without cloud environment, social media platforms are even beyond beyond thinkable. So instead of having multiple accounts, you can have one single account, and one single account is enough to verify if you're a genuine user, and services can be continued. So what will happen? First, the user will ask access to a particular site, any social media site. Let's imagine like that. And the resource provider, what they will do is they will redirect the user and they'll ask for the single sign-on. It's like a normal one account thing. So they will give their account credentials, and once the account credentials is given, the resource provider, that is the cloud provider, will give it to the OpenID provider. Okay, so OpenID provider, again, it's a third party organization, okay, where they will genuinely, they will verify and they will send the information to the resource provider that yes, you can grant access. Only difference between your open authentication and OpenID is that no multiple tokens, multiple codes, multiple keys, or multiple credentials are not required. One single sign-on is enough for so many cloud environment, cloud websites, cloud-based websites. Then lastly, we have your secure socket layer and your transport layer security. It involves ensuring security, especially when you're going for TCP/IP kind of communication. And if you are going for TCP/IP communication, then definitely you have to use these two security protocols. The main reason is they go for security-based pure negotiation. They support key exchange. They support encryption. They support authentication. They support cipher messages, and so on. So first, what will happen is, since I told you, right? So for TCP/IP communication, definitely you have to go for these two protocols. So first, one TCP connection is established between the cloud provider and the cloud service requester. Once the TCP connection is established between the cloud provider and the service requester, next what will happen is you will go for your secure socket layer and your transport layer security handshake, which is nothing but exchange of certificates saying that the client is genuine to the provider and the provider is genuine to the client. Once both the clearance certificates or certificate of trust is exchanged between the cloud provider and cloud consumer, next what will happen is, in a very secure encrypted manner, communication will take place between the two parties. So this is how the four standards work, and these are the four standards that are commonly applied in cloud environment. Thank you.